A WNBA legend erased overnight, a historic broadcaster silenced. No warnings, no explanations, just deleted. What did they do to deserve this? Criticize the wrong rookie. Now, a secret NBA-backed purge is unfolding, one designed to protect a billion-dollar golden goose. Careers are being destroyed, fans are cheering, and this is just the beginning. The Great WNBA Media Purge has started, and nobody is safe. On April 8th, 2025, Sheryl Swoopes is still there, front and center. The podcast proudly bears her name, Jordan Robinson and Sheryl Swoopes. The Queens of the Court podcast was her platform, her space to speak her mind about everything happening in women's basketball. Fast forward just 10 days to April 18th, her face, her name, her very presence deleted. The Queens of the Court podcast didn't issue an apology, didn't post an announcement, didn't even throw up a "we wish her well" post. Nope, they hit the just delete button. New cover art, new title, Jordan Robinson, and friends. Friends? Who are these friends? Nobody knows, and that's the point. It's like someone scrubbed an X from a family portrait and hoped no one would notice. If it weren't for Ken Swift, a WNBA insider with real connections, maybe this whole thing would have stayed hidden. Ken dropped the receipts, side-by-side marketing images, plain as day. April 8th, Swoopes smiling brightly. April 18th, Swoopes vanished. Proof undeniable. No rumor, no speculation, just hard evidence. This was no slow fade out, this was a calculated takedown. Let's get real for a second. Sheryl Swoopes isn't just some random commentator. We're talking about a WNBA legend, 4-time WNBA champion, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, 3-time WNBA MVP, the first woman to have a Nike basketball shoe named after her. Swoopes' erasure wasn't subtle, it wasn't gradual, it wasn't a mutual decision announced with respect. It was a digital execution. One day, you're the face of a popular basketball podcast. The next day, you're completely gonzo. But why? What did Swoopes do that was so terrible that she needed to be completely erased from existence? Simple. She criticized Caitlin Clark. The Queens of Court podcast has become known as what many are calling for ground zero for Caitlin Clark criticism. Week after week, Swoopes didn't hold back her opinions on the WNBA's newest superstar. She questioned the hype, she questioned the skill level, she compared Clark to other rookies and veterans, she spoke her mind. And apparently, that was enough to cost her everything, and it doesn't stop there. Cindy Brunson, another fierce critic of Caitlin Clark, was next. Just a few days ago, the Phoenix Mercury announced their shiny new 2025 broadcast lineup, and guess who's missing? Cindy Brunson, the same broadcaster who was part of the first ever all-female booth in Mercury history, is now gone. No fanfare, no announcement, just disappeared. This hits different. We're talking about the Phoenix Mercury's first ever all-female broadcast team in 2023, a historic moment for women in sports media, and now one of those groundbreaking voices silenced. Brunson didn't leave quietly. She posted a cryptic Bob Marley quote, "True friends are like stars, you can only recognize them when it's dark around you." Translation: when the lights went out, Brunson realized who had her back and who didn't. Fans immediately jumped in, celebrating her removal. Another Clark critic gets what they deserve, they said. No sympathy, no second chances. The online reaction was brutal but revealing. Instead of questioning these removals, many fans cheered them on. Comments across social media suggested Clark haters were getting exactly what they deserved. There's even growing talk about a WNBA task force to combat hate being formed. Let that sink in. A sports league is potentially forming a task force to combat criticism of a single player. That's unprecedented. Look at the timeline. This isn't something random. Swoopes wasn't just removed from that podcast. Reports say she was also dropped from the Dallas Wings broadcast team. And now, Brunson from the Mercury. Two prominent broadcasters with similar views on Clark. Both were suddenly without the jobs they expected to have. That's no coincidence, that's correlation. Some fans online are already calling it, and I quote, the Great WNBA Media Purge. Social media is already speculating about who might be next, with many pointing to Elle Duncan from ESPN as potentially in the crosshairs. The message couldn't be any clearer. Criticize Clark at your professional risk. So what's actually happening here? Why is the WNBA suddenly so desperate to protect one rookie at all costs? This isn't just a PR cleanup, this is about money, business, and survival. After 27 years of barely hanging on, the WNBA finally found its golden ticket, Caitlin Clark. A rookie who didn't just break records, she smashed the business model wide open. Here's something wild. Clark's jersey sales last season ranked second across the entire NBA ecosystem. Mind you, I repeat, not just the WNBA, the entire NBA. Only two players sold more jerseys than her, Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Let that marinate. She even outsold current male superstars. Her impact on viewership? Games featuring Caitlin Clark attract 3.5 times more viewers than regular WNBA matchups. We're talking about a complete transformation of the league's media value overnight. For the first time ever, the WNBA sees real, massive, and undeniable profit potential, and they're not about to let a few broadcasters get in the way. Clark isn't just a player, she's the league survival plan after 27 years without turning a consistent profit. The financial motivation is crystal clear. When the WNBA looks at Clark, they don't just see a talented rookie, they see dollar signs, they see sold out arenas, they see merchandise flying off the shelves, they see broadcast deals worth millions, they see salvation. This is straight busing. After almost 3 decades of financial struggles, the WNBA finally has someone who can potentially turn the league profitable, and they're not taking any chances. What we're witnessing is a calculated gamble that has shocked the sports world. The league executives have made their strategy clear. They've identified Clark as their golden goose and are systematically removing anyone threatening that narrative. But here's where things get really interesting. Who's actually signing these termination notices? According to inside sources, it's not WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert pulling the strings. The evidence points straight to NBA Chairman Adam Silver orchestrating this entire cleanup operation from behind the scenes, and he's got 27 years of WNBA financial struggles motivating his every move. Adam Silver sees Caitlin Clark transforming the economic landscape of women's basketball in real time. When Silver looks at those numbers, he sees something the league has desperately needed for almost 3 decades, a genuine superstar who can finally turn the WNBA profitable. Remember that viral video of Clark hugging the kid that got almost 10 million views? That was posted on the NBA's official Twitter feed. Silver has been very quick to market Caitlin Clark at every opportunity. Behind the scenes, it's said that Adam Silver himself, not Cathy Engelbert, ordered the cleanup operation. Not suggestions, orders. No more criticism of Clark. No more risking the entire empire being built. When Silver looks at Clark, he doesn't just see talent, he sees a billion-dollar opportunity. The reaction videos, the jersey sales, the viral moments, every headline, every broadcast, every fan post builds the myth, building the money. This NBA takeover makes total sense. The parent company is stepping in to protect its investment. Silver's approach resembles a coach's secret game plan, methodically removing obstacles while protecting his star player. Would the NBA, which ultimately controls the WNBA's destiny, allow broadcasters to tear down their golden goose? Not a chance. High-level meetings likely made it clear that anyone consistently undermining Clark would find themselves sidelined. And if you dare stand in the way, if you criticize their golden goose, you're out. Simple as that. Fired, scrubbed, forgotten. The WNBA isn't hiding it. They're sending a message loud and clear. Fall in line or fall out of favor. Fans call it the Great WNBA Media Purge, a new era where loyalty to the new queen is non-negotiable. Criticism isn't just frowned upon, it's punishable by career execution. Sheryl Swoopes found out, Cindy Brunson found out. So who's next? How deep does this purge go? How high does it climb? The career suddenly derailed serve as warnings to others who might consider criticizing the league's most valuable asset at the moment. These aren't coincidental personal changes happening across multiple organizations simultaneously. They appear to be strategic moves directed from the highest levels. The pattern is so consistent, the timing too perfect, and the financial motivation too clear. Beyond the immediate casualties, the question remains whether this desperate media purge signals the league's final attempt at profitability or the beginning of more dramatic shakeups. As the drama unfolds, the WNBA's future hangs in the balance. The media landscape is being reshaped, removing voices critical of the league's brightest new star. That's some serious tea being spilled right there. So tell me, is this just smart business, or is the WNBA selling its soul for a few more TV deals? Is this the future of sports media? Agree or to be erased? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Who do you think is next? Elle Duncan or someone bigger? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you want the real stories, the ones they don't want you to hear, because this storm is just getting started. And speaking of storms, wait until you hear about Kennedy Carter, the player who assaulted Caitlin Clark and now can't find a team to sign her. The instant regret is real and the fallout is bigger than anyone expected. Click here to watch.